Hello, my name is Enrique Corona. I'm a University of New England student studying psychology. Today I'm going to discuss how behaviour modification can assist you in quitting smoking. But before we begin, it's important to understand what behaviour modification actually is. Behaviour modification is a professional practice interested in analysing and modifying human behaviour. When we analyse human behaviour, we're going to be looking at all the environmental contributors that contribute to a particular behaviour occurring. Once this is done, we'll be looking at the modifying aspect. In this section, we will look at alternative strategies and techniques that can reduce a problem behaviour from occurring. When we discuss a behaviour that is problematic and we want to change, this is known as the target behaviour. In this particular example, the target behaviour will be the amount of cigarettes you consume per day. Before we begin, it's important to understand that all behaviour modification techniques are currently being used in psychological practices today. Their effectiveness is second to none. They are great to increase a wanted behaviour, such as increased study times and an increased exercise regime, and they're also great to reduce undesired behaviours or unwanted behaviours, such as excessive smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. Everything that occurs through behaviour is caused by what is known as an antecedent. An antecedent is a stimuli that triggers a particular consequence or a response. In this example I'm about to use, I'll say that a university student is 2 weeks out from having their final exams. Obviously in this situation there's going to be stress. Now if this student is already a smoker, the chances are they will have more cigarettes to combat their stress. Can you spot the antecedents and the consequence? Well, the antecedent is the stress. The consequence is having a cigarette to eliminate that stress. It is important to understand that the environment is the sole contributor to a particular behaviour occurring. Hence, in our assessments, it is essential to understand what triggers a behaviour so we can accurately modify it to reduce it and ensure that it doesn't cause any more problems. To begin the treatment, we're going to conduct a baseline week. A baseline week goes for 7 days and it's interested in gathering all the information relating to the target behaviour's frequency, intensity, latency and duration. This will be done through use of paper. You are to write down the date, the time, the location, the reasons why, and who you're with when you conducted the target behaviour that week. At the end of the week, you'll be able to gather your average amount of cigarettes had in that week. To do this, you will add up all the cigarettes of the week and divide that by 7. In this example, we'll say that you have up to 12 cigarettes per day on average. Our next stage will be to design strategies or alternative procedures that will effectively reduce the occurrence of this target behaviour. So after the baseline week is conducted, we're going to progressively reduce the amount of cigarettes you have. Now, a lot of smokers want to quit cold turkey, but this isn't advised, because by doing so, the withdrawal symptoms that you will find progressively reducing cigarettes will be strong enough. So imagine if you tried to go cold turkey and not smoke for a period of 5 weeks. It will be quite difficult. So the recommended treatment time for this is between 4 to 6 weeks. In this example, we'll say we'll go for 6 weeks. Let's say you have an average of 12 cigarettes per day after the baseline week. We will progressively reduce the amount of cigarettes you have per day by 2. This will be done weekly. So let's say in week 1, you're to reduce the amount of cigarettes you have from 12 to 10, and then week 2 from 10 to 8, progressively reducing the amount you have until we reach the number of 0. By doing this, you are progressively reducing as opposed to completely cutting out cigarettes from your life. Our main objective though is for you to quit, but the reason we do it slowly is it ensures a more sort of easier route for you to take as opposed to putting yourself through the severe symptoms of withdrawal that will come with quitting cold turkey. Now it's time to actually implement strategies. There are 2 strategies that I will strongly reinforce in this, but I will also give other smaller strategies that will assist you in your quitting. To begin with, the use of extinction and reinforcement is a very popular method in smoking reduction. Extinction focuses on eliminating a target behaviour, while reinforcement focuses on strengthening a new alternate behaviour. Take for example, if you decided to quit cigarettes and you resorted to nicotine patches. You are extinguishing actual cigarettes and replacing that with the use of nicotine patches or chewing gum, which is far less dangerous to the body than inhaling cigarette smoke. Another strategy I will suggest is the use of self-praise. Self-praise is giving credit to an appropriate behaviour when it is conducted. In this case, reaching your goals for the week, such as not smoking more than 12 cigarettes that week. By doing this, you're reinforcing that you have achieved something great and that you will continue to do it. It is important though to use self-praise even when the target behaviour gets the better of you. For instance, if you smoke 13 cigarettes instead of 12, it's important to reinforce yourself that you can still achieve the objective, because if you don't, the chances of quitting are high. Some other strategies to keep in mind are, particularly when you're at a party, it's not uncommon for smokers to have relapses at parties. There are two main reasons why this does occur. To begin with, at a party there are two main things that occur, usually drinking and usually socialising. These two go hand in hand with relapse. To begin with, socialising. It's not uncommon for smokers to socialise with other smokers. It would make sense, because smoking areas are designated only for smokers. So if your friends are smokers and you are trying to quit, it's best that you don't sit with them when they're having their cigarettes. As well as goes with smoking and drinking. Usually, drinking intensifies the cravings and urges to have a cigarette. So it's best while we're conducting this treatment for you not to smoke. So using the strategies we've just suggested, it is a very high possibility you could quit smoking using behaviour modification. However, I'd just like to say that if you find a strategy does fail and you relapse smoking from that strategy, I would suggest that you quickly get onto replacing it. The reason is because if you have ever tried to quit smoking before and failed, it's very disheartening. So to keep hold of a strategy that will continue to fail will mean that you are essentially going 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. So I would highly suggest that you definitely create strategies that will work, and if they don't work, you quickly adapt to them and change them up. That concludes my presentation. I really hope this does help you on your journey to quitting smoking. I wish you all the best, and I hope that the behaviour modification techniques that you've learnt tonight will greatly assist you in your journey. All the best, and thank you very much.